Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gator Does D&D, part of the Kingdoms of Discordia. And also, Dapper fucks up. And is apparently made out of puppies still.
Oh god, my head hurts. Oh, Jesus. It feels like I'm in some kind of horrifying sauna.
Are you just hungover or what?
No, I was playing GTA earlier, and it's also in the middle of a heat wave, which means my laptop turned into a fucking radiator. So the room that I'm sat in is a small room, and it's just so fucking hot.
Their heat wave is probably like 20 degrees Celsius, but still.
Hang on a second, let me just check what the temperature is. And I know my phone's about to make some horrifying noises.
Also,
so
incidentally, just to let everybody know, in the chat right now, we're basically we're going to be doing another GM corner today, an AMA with the fans, and yeah, just more or less sort of chill back, hang out stream. This weekend's been pretty weird as far as things go.
With VidCon and everything.
Yeah, VidCon has thrown all of us off, and yeah. So we didn't have an After Saints this week. Huh?
Sorry. I would like to just point you. It's 28 degrees Celsius. Squiggles. So it's like
you're starting to get up there near us. Starting to. Maybe crank it another few degrees up.
Not to mention that I've been sat next to a boiling hot laptop the entire day, so it's probably more like 32 at least in this room right now. I'm fucking melting.
I mean,
Englishmen are not built for the sun, you cop. And assholes.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Let's say display capture. I think 2 was the one? No. Right now I'm like doing a little bit behind the scenes stuff.
Hey, Bo. How's it going on, buddy?
I'm here.
Yeah. He's here.
It doesn't sound like it. How you feeling?
He's here. Get used to it.
He's here. He's queer. Get used to it.
Hey, I didn't say that.
No, Dapper dead. I'm here, everyone. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Or what's left of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been a long weekend. Actually, do you guys have any sort of questions or stuff going for the setting? I mean, we can open with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean...
You want to go first, Dapper?
I don't actually think I've got any questions.
Really?
Actually, no, I do. None that you could answer, though.
You mean plot questions?
Yeah.
Like, when am I going to get a cannon?
That's an excellent question.
When you can carry that much steel.
Well, as far as it goes, with that in mind, I don't think it would be that long a wait for you on that. I mean, it is kind of a basic weapon, and you're gonna have to spend a turn reloading every turn. Because I mean, you gotta pack powder in it. You gotta pack a cannonball.
Not to mention swab and screw.
No, it's not cannonball. Grape shots, which are already pre-packed that I made beforehand, using cloth and various metal pellets that we can make from scrap.
You still have to pack that in. It's a little bit more complex than you're thinking.
Yeah, first you have to swap the board, then you've got to screw out any remaining materials, then you've got to swap the board, then you've got to put a new round in.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to have that cannon blow up in your hands like a bomb.
Yeah, and then you're going to have a whole load of
this is a good question. This is actually does kind of go on a tangent with a really good question, which is you're going to add some more detail to the weapons rules for Gamma World then?
Yeah, actually, I usually, yeah, about similar to how I do with Grand Terra in D&D 5e. As far as it goes, it's mostly logical stuff, so I mean, it should go without saying in most cases. I'm gonna try and keep it revolved around the balance of the game itself.
And the overall theme of it, because at least to me, one of the things to pay attention to is one of the biggest weaknesses and strengths of Gamma World is its simplicity.
Yeah. That's it's incredibly simple, and you can complicate it as much as you want, and at the same time you can keep it simple and flowy so that combat so that combat and things like that can go fairly quickly.
Who do we have here? We have Mr. Maxwell.
Oh,
Good to see you here. Actually, this is perfect. We could probably introduce Maxwell to the whole
Yeah, that's true.
Gamma World setting and all that.
Very much so. Let's see here. I'm fixing
and making
the cropping on our icons here. There we go.
I can see that. I am watching the stream as well.
Maxwell joins, our views start to skyrocket. Makes sense.
That's
He's legit.
He's our charismatic lucky charm in that regard.
Oh.
All right. So just to catch Maxwell up on this after his long hiatus, we're doing a bit of a we're doing an AMA right now with any fans of the show on just setting stuff, any questions they might have for the world, for everybody's characters here. Whether it be the Grand Terra characters or for the new Gamma World characters that everybody's been playing as. So, the floor is also open to you guys if you want to just ask random questions about the world, the past, or maybe if you feel like adding a little bit of background to your character's past that you want to share with the audience today.
I have one question about the prehistory of the world that we're currently inhabiting.
Yeah.
So would it be identical Earth, or would there be variations in the timeline, or is it exactly our Earth?
Technically, it's exactly our Earth, just
right.
It's coinciding with other Earths at the same time, as well as a few other extra dimensions. It's sort of like all of space-time took a shit. We can blame it on CERN.
The big mistake.
Yep.
And what time frame did this happen to the planet?
It's about 25 years from now, and an alien invasion is occurring at the time.
So basically, what you're saying is, if I went across the ocean, I could meet my own self, myself as a character, if myself has survived. That's the.
Yeah, theoretically, if you happen to.
I know where we're going.
Yes, if you happen to stumble through, because there are time rifts that exist in this. So remember what I said.
Thinking,
yeah.
What I was thinking is, well, if we are where I think we are, in this world, I'm gonna try heading a little bit further west, a little bit further south. See who I find.
West and
I would
south.
have thought it would be more towards the Midwest and the Mississippi area.
Yeah.
Good questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because as far as it goes, most maps were sort of wrecked, destroyed, and a lot of the Earth has had a bit of a facelift, so to speak.
That's an understatement.
Oh my god, you trying to tell me, and I know this is going to sound good, but even the geographical collection of map society has been destroyed by this time rift.
Really?
Sort of. I mean, some areas have, a time rift that stretches across it, and it's further along in Earth's geologic history. And so it spills out to the other side.
Every single map on the world has been destroyed.
No, not every single map, but the deal is it's like a lot of the maps for old Earth are sort of unreliable in a lot of cases.
Obsolete.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So and cartography is a very, very dangerous kind of profession in this timeline.
Well, you don't know whether or not you're going to get eaten by bugs or not, I guess.
Oh, that
You're
or
lucky.
beaten to death by rampaging mutant hog bikers,
Yeah.
or
Vaporized by robots with their lasers.
even
Kidnapped
shot
by aliens.
shot full of holes by raccoon Vietnam vets.
Nice.
Yeah,
They were in the cans, man.
yeah, they were.
They can't.
Da Nang was hell, man. There's just trash everywhere. I don't fucking Charlie just jump out, fucking goddamn crazy hobo. I hate Charlie. He's a prick.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Oh yeah.
I love the smell of bum piss in the morning. The smell of LSD.
It's about accurate.
Oh, trust me, Leslie. Things get just as weird as you might be assuming.
Yeah,
Yeah, it gets
And by
weird.
weird, I mean awesome.
yeah, it's a very, very like very 80s neon. Was it neon apocalypse in a lot of the flavor? So
Should we give Maxwell like a rundown of our characters to let him know what he's kind of like? What
yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
So,
Go ahead, Twigs.
Oh god.
Come on.
Okay. Wait, you want me to explain my character?
yeah. Phil Leslie.
Alright.
He hasn't really known too much
All
about
right.
everything.
Well, good evening. The name is Dr. Corneria Theodore Seps. At your service. I am what you'd call very eccentric when it comes to the very mind of that of science. Though I do enjoy my fungal puns every now and again, I do also enjoy partaking in those of that of intellectual activity. Being able to find myself the greatest problems to be able to do with that of trusty science. Science is what I call the giant blade behind my back. I am able to partake in various forms of activities and not being able to crush every single bone of my enemies. Wait, actually, if I'm going to be able to crush the bones of my enemies, I'm not going to be able to do that. How am I going to do that? I have a giant sword to be able to cleave it through. Maybe it's going to be strong enough to be able to cleave it through and not actually going to be that at all. Maybe it's going to happen that I actually cleave it through and actually crush it at the same time. Maybe it'll lead to that.
Just
More
tell
Now
me
fracture.
you've got a sidekick called Pinky.
No.
I am the pinky.
No, he is known as Cordyceps.
Doctor.
He's
As in
quite-
cordyceps, as in the medical implement.
No.
No,
Cordyceps
cordyceps
is in
as in
brain
fungus.
brain control mushrooms that infest ants.
Okay.
Yeah, so Squigs is basically playing a telekinetic mushroom man. Like, think of myconoids in the Underdark, only far nerdier and fond of
Psychotic.
puns.
Don't forget
So
psychotic.
basically, he's a psychic mycologist.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Pretty much.
really. I'm more of a more of like a psychoactive mad scientist. And yes,
Also
I
true.
said psychoactive. 'Cause
Yeah.
I produce various chemicals relating to different mushrooms that I've seen within my life. And
Last
that having that.
last
having
session
that,
he literally made LSD darts by jamming fucking slivers of metal into his head.
Oh wow.
It's
That's impressive.
it's actually darts that contain various chemicals created by rye smut, which have the nice little added benefit of St. Anthony's fire, which can induce an LSD-like state, as well as violent diarrhea. You're shitting yourself in a bad trip.
Yeah.
Okay, so you spend most of your day sat there
So
watching
he-
your hand move?
No. So this, I mean, imagine if you were on an LSD trip.
Yeah, right
and
fun
you
guy.
got and then you got the LSD shits so bad that you just basically shit your intestines out and die.
It's basically a mix of LSD and dysentery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't sound as attractive as tripping.
Oh
your
no! The best part
I
is
can't
that
wait.
No.
Dex
It's-
wields a
The
Calm
rules the rules that we've given for his little toys in this regard. 1 prick, you're tripping. 2 pricks, you're tripping and having a bad trip. 3 pricks, you're tripping and shitting yourself to death. In the worst trip
Okay.
of your life.
Oh,
Never-
no.
So,
Never
I can't wait until I hit someone with 3 darts, and Gator has to like explain a bad trip to us whilst we're on the outside of the trip. So
Yeah.
we don't have any context for what's going on. Like this guy could be like picking up his own shit and going, "My kidney fall out."
And Maxwell, to make the character even better, I have Max in Constitution.
He's the party
Oh.
tank.
Meaning not only I can take a damage, when it comes to those darts, I can make a lot of them.
So, Bar, why don't you introduce John?
John is a curious little fellow in the sense that he is one of the many, many iterations of Keanu Reeves across the multiverse.
Oh, that John. Okay.
Yeah.
Only he got somewhat successful movie star who got caught in the temporal loop and transported a couple of years into the future, into Gamma World. Along the process, he acquired some very unusual mutations, manifested as potent psionic powers, in the sense that he has very accelerated movement and reaction times, and also he's able to process information at a blinding rate, and even superficially peer into a few seconds into the future and see possible outcomes of reality.
Cool.
The
Yeah.
problem with that, however, is that it's destroying his central nervous system and parts of his brain. causing him,
Yeah, high cost for.
causing a form of dementia and retrograde amnesia, which means his memory's going, as well as some excessive mood swings.
Isn't
And
it?
it might getting even worse.
Mm.
Among
Isn't it also
others.
that John experiences like what was it, the passage of time in slow motion, considering how fast he thinks?
The more,
Mhm.
the more he kicks in, the more he uses his powers, the more he's processing, the more everything goes around him, and he
Actually,
can get it. It
Oh.
kind of traps him in the problem of going yo-yoing back and forth between that ends up causing a lot of the problems I described. Also, it can kind of trap him in a sort of fatalistic state, as he can see possibilities and not feel like he's able to actually change them.
Right, yeah, because it happens too fast, like.
kind of reminds me a bit of I don't know if you guys saw this this film back in the day, but I'm trying to remember the name of it. Basically, the kid in the film had like this special watch that would give him would slow down time for him.
Wasn't that an episode of The Twilight Zone, though?
No.
No, what is on about? No, it was, fucking hell. Wasn't that Scanner?
Was it Scanner?
I'm not sure.
Let me think. I'm really trying to remember it. But basically, like it showcased like the hazards of what was it? The watch that he was using, for the fact that he started aging outside in normal time for everyone else. They were starting to see that it was getting worse and worse, and especially when he got two of the watches and combined them, doubling up the effect of it.
Clue what you're talking about. I thought I did, but I haven't got to.
It definitely sounds
No,
like fucking,
I can't remember
late
this at
80s
all.
sci-fi.
No, it was Clock Stoppers. That was the film.
No,
Oh yeah, I don't know that one.
Not familiar with it, dude. I'll
Yeah,
have to look it up now.
here. I will give you guys the IMDb on it.
That reminds me of an Adam Sandler movie that we were not going to talk
Pull up
about.
the IMDb on the stream.
Yeah, that probably actually would be a good idea. Let's see
Yeah,
here.
basically, John ends
So,
up being a wandering gunslinger type. In a way, the drifting stranger of the apocalyptic lore, with a little bit of the western and also a little bit of the old samurai movies like Kurosawa. Like, he's a skilled
So-
figure, but can't seem to settle anywhere.
Have you
Go
seen the
down
film
routes.
Last Man Standing?
Yeah,
With Bruce Willis?
yeah.
That.
It's like a very like rooted archetype. Yeah, but basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's definitely neat. I think.
Last Man Standing is definitely one of my favorite films.
Really good one.
Don't know, never seen it. Not a big Bruce
Oh,
Willis.
Last Man Standing. Are you talking about that Tim Allen show?
No, the movie, dude. It's
Oh,
like a
I was gonna
remake
say,
of
really?
Yojimbo.
Fucking great. Yeah. But the original is amazing as well.
Mm.
Like that story premise is a great story.
Yojimbo, isn't he a Final Fantasy Aeon?
Oh, it's Japanese for bodyguard, so it could be in Final Fantasy. as
Yeah,
well.
it was in.
Okay.
Yeah, which explains everything about Yojimbo and Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've
Basically,
never played
if you're a fan
Final
of
I don't know. I've never played a Final Fantasy game, so I don't know.
I mean, wasn't
Yep.
Yojimbo just kind of a makeup change for Odin?
No, because because the whole deal was he was because Odin was the was Ixion in that one. He was the horse.
Yeah.
Yojimbo was like its own thing because it was a how do you call it?
Oh yeah, but in previous games, it was Odin that always had the Zanzatsu attack.
Huh. Well, shit. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Maybe they just like decided to mix some things up. I mean, it happens from time to time with Final Fantasy.
True.
But in any case,
Dapper, you want to tell?
yeah.
about your character?
I thought I didn't think we were done with John, but I guess. Okay. I'm playing Reese Wukong, who is the character is based off of the Monkey King. So, I know you remember the TV show Monkey. Hello?
Yeah.
I don't know now.
All right, you know the show.
Anyway, so he is
Dragon Ball?
he is a simian.
Oh yeah, DBZ. Yeah, I know that one.
Actually, I have a illustration of him that I'm working on right now. Bar has been so kind as to.
Why don't you whack that up on stream?
Yeah. That's what I'm about to do. I'm giving you guys the image here, and I'm gonna put it up on stream for folks to see.
So the way his origin story, I've finally hammed out a little bit of his origin story. He was a research monkey in Johnson & Johnson.
Johnson Johnson, the baby powder maker.
No, Johnson Jensen. That's the name of the company.
Yeah.
Basically, they were using him to test out combat drugs and steroids, which is one of the reasons why he's now 6 foot tall. He's a rhesus macaque, and if you don't know anything about rhesus macaques, is they barely breach 1 foot
Right.
standing up.
Those are some
So he-
fucking supplements, dude.
Yeah, it's
The finest of Mexican supplements.
Yeah, that's why I
Mexican
asked
supplements.
Cheeseburger Eddie for some of those old world southern Mexican southern supplements. The
So
ones that are really
basically-
heavy and make a plunk as they hit the bottom of the glass.
So you basically went for a Planet of the Apes Jacob's Ladder crossover?
I haven't. Well, yeah, pretty much.
Kind
So
of.
he was thrown out into the street. A simple monkey that was built like a brick shithouse. And then he was what's the word I'm looking for? Possessed by a demon seed, which gave him sentiency, and something that he then realized. Now I'm a 6 foot tall orange monkey that people don't like.
With flaming, glowing eyes.
Yeah, and so when I get angry, I start breathing smoke and stuff.
Orange. Fucking Protestant prick. Sorry, carry on.
So since when have you ever seen the devil in green? So yeah, no, I've got this demon seed inside me, and my character has got a really low wisdom, and the reason is this: is he's not very observant. Most of the time he spends when he's not fighting, he is trying to control the demon seed inside of him before the demon takes over the body proper and basically just turns him into a lunar seed.
Yeah.
Spreading that
Just as a bit of established lore for it, to fill in that portion of it. demon possession, demonic possession is actually kind of a big problem that exists. It's part of what caused society to fall.
Okay.
Essentially, similar to if you remember Doom 3 or any of the extended lore for Doom, where hell is actually another dimension, and with
extra dimensional beings.
Yeah, pretty much. And so you have that, and basically the angry spirits of people who died in the war with the aliens, the nuclear holocaust that occurred in one of the timelines, stuff like that, and it's formed these kind of roving, demon spirit creatures that sort of like infest into people. A lot of old Earths.
What I've kind of gleaned as my demon's backstory is that it was a obviously somehow connected to ancient China, because I'm playing a character based around Sun Wukong, which is the Chinese Monkey King member. He's an awful lot of East Asian mythology.
So kind of like loosely based on the Jinn light, something like that.
Journey to the West, if you ever got to read it.
Yeah, Journey to the West. With, or even if you got to see it, because Jet Li played Sun Wukong in Journey to the West.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh shit, that was a good movie.
If you look on the Roll20, my character's avatar is actually a screenshot of Sun Wukong from the film.
Right, I'm actually on Roll20, but obviously I haven't got an invite to your current game.
You're not in the game yet, right?
Yeah, that's true. We do gotta get you sorted on that.
Just to carry on with
go
on.
Yeah.
So, the demon was somehow connected to obviously ancient China. It was combat. The spirit was heavily combated, so he's just permanently in this fixed rage. The demon cannot and will not stop until Wukong can kind of regain control. Which is why, and I don't know if you caught this in the first session, guys, but which is why I changed the Wukong's voice when he was talking after he got hit.
Actually, I was noting that. I thought you might have been refining the character a little bit, but I wasn't aware that you were actually doing a bit of a change to him.
I would recommend for that demon.
The way I see it is that Wukong and the demon are two different characters in the same body, but they aren't separate, if you know what I mean. They are part of the same character, but they are two extremes of emotion.
Two sides of the same coin.
So imagine like hulking out, like with the ape rage and the demon. When he does that, the demon has completely taken control of his combat movement and stuff.
And he hulks out too.
Yeah.
He turned the first
Got kind of a Yugi effect sort of thing, like the demon takes over when it's time to kick ass type thing.
Yeah, pretty much. So if you look at my first ever actual combat hit, I did 22 damage.
Yeah.
Not just that, but he went and pretty much
obliterated the bacon.
Yeah, so in the first session that they were in, they ended up in a fight with a pair of the debt collectors for a current gang.
The bad dudes.
Yeah, the bad dudes. Yeah. Hey,
I'm so upset about that. I miss my sword. I miss science.
I mean, it might still be out there, waiting for you. In far off lands, far away, calling.
So, is this format predicated on no strengths without cost?
No, this is just...
No. There are preset origins you pick from.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, as made up as all this sounds, these are actually based on possible character creation origins that you pick.
So, when you build your character for the first time, you pick between either two mutations or one mutation and human engineered or something like that. I never paid attention to that.
Yeah, no worries.
It's basically you have the option in character creation where you can roll 2 d20s to see what origin that you get if you're more preferring the vanilla character generation on it, but I'm also accepting folks of simply picking. Mm-hmm. So you could get things like rat folk and swarm. So you are a swarm of sentient rats.
Yep.
Yeah.
That act as a single hive mind mass, or you could be like a pyrokinetic giant. So you can be a literal fucking like Norse fire giant.
You can also, if I'm
the hive
correct,
mind sounds really cool, because that way I can run around all day going, "We are Borg."
I know you can be. If I remember, it was like a, let me see, like an explosive swarm of rats.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
yeah,
you could
Literally
be.
exploding swarm of any animal you want it to be.
Yeah,
Well, actually, you could be an exploding swarm of any small thing.
Yeah,
Anything
like-
that can constantly
You can be like little.
like an exploding swarm of big lighters.
No,
Yeah.
a giant sentient swarm of smoke and cherry bombs.
Yeah, because the deal
like-
is the deal is with stuff like that. It's each of these different permutations of your origin gives one a large portion of your physical traits, and two, you can sort of build your character off on top of that. Nell's character, when she's coming in next session, and yours too, if you if your net holds out and you're wanting to pop into play.
Yeah.
We'll be introducing you on that, and fuck, what was I gonna say? Ugh, my brain's still mush.
There's like a total of 40 different origins.
Oh wow!
The
So
worse the
there's a
better.
whole any archetype you could pretty much imagine. I'd assume.
Mhm.
Probably.
And even
yeah.
then, you can do it your own way. Like, hey, you want to be you want to be a, I was gonna say like a cryomatic
Coconut.
no, a cryokinetic I was gonna say a cryokinetic. What would be a good cryokinetic plant that carries around a giant flamethrower?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true. You can do stuff like that very easily.
So if I wanted to do, I could get all fucking Brandon Sanderson up in this bitch and be a Mistborn.
Yeah, you could. Like there are 2 supplemental books that add in more origins, so you are more than free to pop around and that sort of stuff.
And with those characters, you get yourself cards known as Alpha Mutation or Omega Tech.
Yeah, we're doing a variant on the rule set for that, where you are allowed to how would you call it?
Choose one.
Yeah.
Choose and keep versus having to swap it out constantly from a deck.
Yeah, because initially Gamma World 4E is predicated on a card system. Being as the limitations of what we have in Roll20, as much fun as the little bits and bobs that come with it in the deck building aspect and randomization of that, we went with a little bit more of a structured approach to the game. So most all the rules are still in place, so you don't have to worry so much about that. But we just do have a few addendums. Like, for instance, you guys actually have 5 extra levels available to you, as opposed to normally Gamma World. God, I am just mixing everything up today.
I did. It happens.
Yeah, it is. You normally tap out at level 10.
Right.
That's the max that you can get, and everything else is super gear dependent. It's like you have your superpowers, which are fantastic, and you can do tons of crazy shit with. But ultimately, you only have just those powers, and everything else is supplemented by the tech and the mutations that you would find if you went out. So, like, at some points, if you get, like, really, really lucky on a draw table, you can find, like, a fusion cannon that you can sit there and play with. Or a tank, yeah. Right. And make use of it a few times before it goes, because everything has sort of a durability sort of deal.
I mean, it actually
like-
sounds kind of cool, because I don't think I've ever played a game predicated on a kind of augmentation system. And that sounds interesting.
There's
Yeah.
the I went ahead and posted in the group right there the links for you. The drive has all the books, and
the erratas are pinned to the actual chat.
yeah,
Because-
and the Roll20 link is there as well. So
Let me just-
I mean,
21.
yeah. I mean,
Okay,
the,
yeah, Tales of the Junktown Doomsayer.
yeah,
That's the
that's the
server.
one. That's the one.
Cool. Okay.
I
got that.
honestly though, like, I know that this is gonna sound stupid, but I'm really bad at reading the books, and
They're reference. So
like, most of the time I'm gonna be sat here going, what? Mostly because I'm an incredibly lazy person.
Dude,
Okay,
when in doubt, you can
I've
hit.
bookmarked that
hit
shit.
Gator.
When in
can
doubt,
hit me.
whip it out. When in doubt,
Yeah.
whip it
Oh god damn it!
If that's the case, then
Nobody's
I'll just
whipping
put my
anything
hammer
out.
on and get my cock out.
no, bad.
I was just
bad.
gonna say, like, joking aside, just hit up Gator or me because I am
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
trying to devour the most out of this setting in the books as I can.
If
Bar is
I'm
very
coming
fond
into
of this system.
I
Yeah.
really like this system. Sue me.
Hold on, guys. If I'm coming into this and I don't know anything about what we're doing, it kind of works as a tutorial sort of way of working.
Yeah, true. Those at home who might get interested in it.
Exactly. It would let you guys explain in a practical sense what we're doing and what we have now to do. So when it comes to RP, that's open-ended. I'm perfectly comfortable with that. That's not a problem. But the actual mechanics of the game are the parts that most people obviously need explaining to them. So I kind of take it upon myself to be a lazy bastard for science.
I mean,
Or at least that's
yeah,
my
it works.
excuse.
Let's go with that.
Sounds like a goddamn. Although looking at the first graphic that I can see here, kind of has a 2077 feel to it.
Yeah.
A little
I mean,
bit
that's
better.
just an opinion, obviously, but yeah, it has that kind of.
Well, it's a little bit more disaster-stricken than 2077.
Yeah.
And very weirdness heavy. Very weirdness heavy.
Where you like the sound of that.
Oh, like, it's like, this is the kind of game where the fourth wall is kind of rubbery.
Okay.
So as you hit it, it kind of still lets you bounce back.
Yeah, I was wondering if I can get any kind of like knowledge meta.
How do you mean?
If I could figure out that we're all in an RP game.
Oh,
Potentially. I won't
That would be
I won't absolutely rule it out, considering. But yeah, I mean, it's at least certainly interesting in that regard. The concept of a Deadpool-esque fourth wall awareness.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it would.
Just
I mean,
kinda-
honestly, it would count like its implementation. Oh my god, I can't speak English.
Implementation.
Implementation. Thank you. Sort of thing would have to absolutely be like, not too jarring.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So like here,
We have some nods to it as it is here and there.
like for just
An example of the origins.
yeah, the origins. What we have here. Scrolling to get them. You have what was it?
Almost there. Almost there. Making characters. You're almost there. Dude.
Yeah, got it. So like for instance, if I'm starting up making a character here, it's like okay, I've got my D20 here and roll. I got a 20. A Yeti, who is also 18, a speedster. So a the Flash, who is also a
On
Yeti.
crack.
Yeah.
Bigfoot on crack.
And so I could extrapolate. Yeah. My character is actually
No,
a coke-addled
no.
Bigfoot.
No. Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar.
It's a coked out bear, dude.
Yeah, technically.
One of the best fucking things ever to exist.
See?
I fucking love that.
That's the thing. We could roll any
Yeah.
two things in here. We could, the four of us could find like for the same archetype that we get 2 origins, we could find 4 different concepts at least.
Yeah, Bigfoot on crack, Pablo Escobar. The Flash got turned into a Yeti.
Yeah, so you can really have a lot of fun and creativity with it. And so, like...
Gorilla God decided to start doing cardio workouts.
So, what's it? We have, like, for one of the first things that it describes in the book, for, let's say you rolled an android, it gives you a bit of a blurb, a flavor blurb, so it's like you were made, not born. Simulation of a living creature is implicit in your shape, though sometimes you forget to boot up your pretend to breathe subroutine. But are you a living being who has machine parts, or a machine who has living parts? It gives you an appearance for it, or at least an appearance suggestion. It's like, oh, your metallic body parts draw attention before people notice. Your eyes are a flickering pair of LEDs, sort of deal.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you look at that description of what an android is, and then you look at Feldy's android character.
Oh yeah. Feldy has a pretty unique take on it. She went with because she got Felinoid android for hers. So she's made herself basically a robot furry, kind of.
Pretty much. If
Someone fucked up somewhere.
If you look at the character, though, like, the way that she describes it, it's more like a woman with cat ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say she's a trap, but
No,
she might have a bear trap down south.
Actually,
Just
she went
saying.
Have you guys seen her avatar picture?
she's right.
Yeah.
She drew.
Yeah.
She went like full anthro there.
Yeah, she did actually go full anthro. Originally, we thought that she was going like this Ugu Kawaii cat girl, like it was a Japanese sex robot or something. Which I'm sure she's pissed off every time we say it, but
Yeah.
it's funny
Well, I
making
mean-
her grump sometimes.
Actually, if you look at the the design of a cat, I know I'm going to be feedbacking right now, aren't I?
No, you're fine.
No, you're okay.
Oh,
Sound
right,
okay?
awesome. Right, well, in that case, if you look at the design of a cat, like, it works for an android because they've got incredibly powerful legs and
Yeah.
they can run.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, the character design is absolutely wonderful.
Not to mention,
Feldy has
we
been
also have
playing
a
a very...
sentry bot.
Mm.
With Feldy, we have a sentry bot. She doesn't need to sleep. She has dark vision.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not even fair. We might as well just put her on
You
top
and
of being
you
her
too,
head
dude.
so she's got something.
Mm.
Oh, I need to sleep. I need to sleep. I get dark
You
vision.
can also see perfectly in the dark.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
actually kind of cool.
I'm back. What I
That's
missed?
because my eyes are headlights.
We're discussing like some of the concepts that that
Yeah,
you get when we're talking
as an
about
example.
Feldy. Yeah. Like so one of the other thing that you'll find whenever you do this, it gives you your powers that you start off with. These are your basic abilities. I don't know if you ever got to play 4E in the past, but in difference to other versions of Dungeons and Dragons, 4E has a different spread of your abilities. So you have at-wills, you have encounters, and you have dailies. In this, like your novice powers, the things that you first start with are going to be at-wills, meaning you can use these powers at will. They are similar to how like you would use a cantrip or basic attack.
Yeah.
Whereas encounters, every time you go into an encounter, into a fight, you can use it once, and then after the encounter, you get like a 5-minute cooldown or rest or something like that. It reloads. You can use it again in the next encounter after that. Whereas a daily is, as you would expect, only something you could do pop once a day. You need a long rest to be able to use it again.
Mm-hmm.
So, so you get 3 tiers of your powers for your origin, and they just build as you level up. So, Feldy starts out with an ability called Machine Grip. When you get your hand on an enemy, your grip tightens like a steel-jawed vice, which I imagine is probably a throwback to Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it has like standard like ability card sort of deal. It's pretty straightforward. It's like, okay, the attack is intelligence plus your level versus enemy's reflex. That's another thing that's different in the system, is that you actually have your your defenses subdivided. You don't just have a flat AC. You have AC, you have reflex, will, and what was the other one? Fortitude. Yeah.
Yeah, testicular fortitude. I saw that.
Yeah. So
attacks that attack your body mass and physique tend to be fortitude, like resisting poison.
Yeah, so in that respect, you will never have like an absolute perfect defense and stuff. Yeah. So it's like, okay, you have vulnerabilities that can be capitalized on. There's other things like resistance that you have in here, where as opposed to in standard D&D, if you have resistance to X, you just take half damage. In 4E rules, it's resistance and a number, and you get to negate that much damage from that source. Whereas you also have on the other side, you have weakness, so you take extra damage from that source. So let's say you have weakness 2 for fire, and somebody casts you a firebolt and they only deal 1 fucking damage, but it's still fire. You take 3 damage instead. Right. Whereas on the other end, if they cast that same firebolt and you have resist fire 2, it literally does no damage. It fizzles it out.
Cool.
So, I was thinking, because you can play gelatinous creatures.
Yeah, you can play Goo Girls.
Could you? Could you Goo Girl? I'm not even.
What?
I'm in the PDF at the moment, having a little butchers at the actual Origins, and I must admit, there's a couple I've already seen that I think, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, so you could play like a gelatinous android and be
the liquid metal man from Terminator 2. Was it the T9000? Wasn't it?
T2000, I think it was.
Oh, T2000.
Gelatinous would do. Plastic would do too. Shapeshifter would also fit. There's a bunch of them.
Molten plastic. Jesus. I remember that. The molten plastic one. Like, how horrifying would that be? Just like something gushing. Its body is literally molten plastic and just gushes over you. Like,
So the main attack for like a gelatinous creature is to just envelop the enemy.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much, dude.
So much screaming.
My next character, if Mukong does pass away, which is is a massive likelihood, I might be an evade tank, but I'm still, likely to die at some point.
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at two that are right next. I'm looking at two that are right next to each other, which is Mythic Nightmare.
Ooh.
Holy shit!
That's
That's a fucked up combo right there.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
And are you looking at these in the expansions?
Yeah, because that one's in the
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I found it here. Mythic Nightmare. You have a divine parent, and you are nightmare brought to life. God damn.
I'm thinking,
So much that
You'd just be the son of death, wouldn't you? You've been Mort from Discworld.
Oh, dude, man. I mean, if I ever needed any more selling on it, I'm there.
But seriously, look through all of them because there's so many.
It's
candy store.
I'm just literally skimming at the moment.
If you can't decide, I would actually recommend getting the full list of them up, which I think is in the Legion of Gold.
Yes.
The full list. It's got every single one.
Oh, Legion of Gold has all of them?
This one has...
only the list.
Can I finish?
Oh, sorry.
At the front, Legion of Gold only has... on the front of it has all 3 tables with the numbers on. What I did when I couldn't pick my character was I rolled a selection, boiled down to 4 possibilities, like 4 combinations, and then went through each of them, made archetypes, and then broke down the archetypes to something that I actually wanted to play, which turned out to be, Demon Monkey. That's a really good way to build a character. It's like custom build for this game. I know that it's meant to be random build, I think, initially.
There is on the book the possibility of picking.
Yeah,
Pending
so you can
game.
randomly build a random game and just throw your guys into meat grinder after meat grinder, and basically because it is all pick up and play with the character, they don't even have to be fleshed out at all. You can just roll a character, here's your powers, fuckity bye, and that's it. You know. So it's you could quite easily in an afternoon just have a couple of skirmishes with like 3 or 4 characters.
Yeah, you really could. That's the initial way that you play this that you play this game. That's what I sort of pitched initially, but everyone got so into their characters and whatnot. I was like, actually no, let's see where we can go with this, and I started pinning an actual story arc for everything.
Yeah, but in this game, I'd highly recommend to have a backup just in case.
Yeah, like I said, if I die, I'm going to have a pyrokinetic angry swing with bees.
Yeah, because
Fire bee.
Maxwell, we learned that the hard way was first session. Karn characters died.
Yeah. We had the first legit death in the games that you guys have been in.
Damn.
And even though Carla's like a tough cookie, she also got close to getting ganked herself.
Yeah, just out of placement and whatnot. Because one of the things with 4E is that you kind of do have to pay attention to your class. Karn was playing basically a artillery style character. He was a antimatter engineered human. So like basically cyborg ninja with a blaster arm. And he was a little bit more durable, but the thing was he got swarmed by minions. Minions are something in 4E which are great.
They're awesome.
They only have a single HP, so if you hit them, they're dead. But the thing is that they can be a lot of them. So like swarming kobolds of doom sort of scenario.
Death of 1,000 cuts, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Only these 1,000 cuts did, 6 attacks of opportunity? Just burgered him.
Yeah, because he decided to move rather than to stay put. He tried to move to help Carla. So he stepped outside of the zone of control for all of the robots that were swarming around him, and
there's your lesson of the day: don't help other people.
Oh no!
Oh,
don't do that! No! Don't go in there thinking that.
Fuck off now.
No, but just include one that's rather interesting, prescient, sort of thing. You could be almost a masquerade vampire.
Yeah, you really could.
You can be vampiric in this as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So like the total listing for the things where Dap just clued me in on. Thank you, by the way. I didn't even know that had this in the beginning of this book. But you have the gamut of, you can be an android, cockroach, doppelganger, an electrokinetic, empath, felinoid, giant, gravity controller, hawkoids, hypercognitives, mind breakers, mind coercers. This is in the first one. This is the base book.
So
you can be
the famine in the Fargo?
Legion. No. The full listing for all of them, for if you want to roll them, is in the Legion of Gold pack. Yeah. So like if you're wanting to do the random rolling for it, you have you take a D12 for your first, and you roll a D12, and it tells you which table you're going to be rolling on, either the original game, the Famine in Fargo expansion, or the Legion of Gold expansion. And then the other one, you roll a D8, and it gives you another origin that you can pull from other stuff. So, in that regard, after that you just take D20 or the D8 for Legion of Gold's extra ones, and you roll those. But that's if you're wanting to do the random creation rather than pick and mix, which I totally am cool with you doing pick and mix. If you ever roll doubles on the on your origins, you actually get the engineered human trait instead, and those give you some really, really wicked bonuses and whatnot.
So I can't be a giant, I'd just be a giant engineered human.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
the other ones that you... Sorry?
That's basically a space marine, so that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, you could theoretically, play a Space Marine in this. Especially with the
So
fact
if
that
I-
you do actually have, with Omega Tech, you have cybernetic implants.
If I play a doppelganger and dress up in Imperial Guard's uniform, with
Yeah, you could do it. You could do it. Because your
I
weapons
could-
duplicate. You just
I
need...
was so pissed at myself. If I was able to choose alien fungoid, that means I could have played as a fucking orc.
Yeah, you could have.
These
Giant
are more the... Actually, these are more like the grayish, nerdy aliens. That archetype. But if you played
Yeah.
giant fungoid, you'd be an orc, though.
Yeah, technically, that would still work. I mean, with a fungoid, it just means that you're a mushroom. It doesn't necessarily, like... Yeah, it doesn't force you to actually look like one. I mean, you as a mycologist understand the various permutations that a mushroom can take in that regard, or a fungus can take.
I remember the description saying you could just be like a fungal infection on whatever other form
Yeah,
or
yeah.
origin you end up rolling. So let's say fungal engineered human would be like a human with like a really bad fungal
Cordyceps.
infection.
Yeah, cordyceps infection.
Mold infection.
Oh, that would be bad.
You'd look like the horror show fucking mushroom people in The Last of Us.
Yeah. Actually, I mean that I've been tempted to play this character as well. It's the orc version of Tank Girl.
Oh yeah, I love that one. That was an awesome fucking image.
That's my phone background.
Nice.
I
That is
fucking
cool.
I fucking love it. It's a great piece.
Yeah, like something engineered human.
All
You
props
get
to the
there.
artists. Like, I don't know who did it. I would love to follow their work because their work is fucking awesome.
You can reverse. You can photo search on.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Google.
I can now that I've posted it on the group because now it's on my laptop too. That was on my phone and only on my phone.
There's actually there's like an address there in the bottom of the pack if you had a bigger version.
Yeah, but like if
Probably
you
lead you to the artist.
actually, I could probably track it down for you after the show today.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean,
So-
I already have a replacement plan out if something happens to John.
Mm.
Yeah, because I was going with a Yeti shapeshifter,
Mhm.
basically a wasteland werewolf.
Yeah, that was. I actually really enjoyed that concept. That was neat.
Oh, so the artist is called Mike Lucas.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
So if anyone's interested,
Due credit.
I don't
Mm.
know if that's on
The
the
artist.
screen, but still.
Oh,
there
we
it
got
is.
9 viewers still. They're enjoying it. Though I am surprised that we haven't had as many questions from the viewers today.
Guys, feel free to put in your questions.
Yeah. Come on. That's a shot. I bet you can't hit me with a quarter.
You telling your dad?
Actually, I've got a question, sort of thing. So I mean, is
Actually,
this
you
like?
probably could. To be fair, though.
Oh, and
I
that-
suppose
Like,
like.
What's up?
It's just, I mean, is this like, GM procedurally generated, or is it more of a dungeon crawler, or is it a mixture of all?
It's kind of a mixture of things. Like when I've been making stuff, like right now, the party is planning a heist. They're going to be lifting because the bad dudes are they're already going to pull a heist on a plutonium and potentially tech shipment coming in for the local nuclear plant, Atomic Blast Power, which is a retrofit of what was it, the nuclear reactor on the USS Kitty Hawk. They basically are using that to power the city around them.
Nice.
Yeah, so the bad dudes are going to steal that, but the party, who are currently at odds with the bad dudes, they found out through a friend of Ree's, a very, very enthusiastic street preacher conspiracy theorist by the name of Cheeseburger Eddie, a rat man with a giant pompadour. They found out about the heist, and they're like, "Oh wait, we can hit that ourselves," and Cheeseburger Eddie actually has a buyer lined up for the plutonium.
Damn.
Yeah, so that is where things are being left off. It's a little bit of a preview for the watchers back at home, but if they are really into this sort of deal, or I'm sorry, not if they're really into this deal. I can't fucking talk.
Sport.
How many fucking cards?
Oh, you're fine. But in any case, Nell's character is going to be introduced as some more hired help for the heist at the behest of Cheeseburger Eddie.
Nice.
So, just for instance, just to go back to this joke quickly, I'm really sorry. I ended up calling Eddie Alex. But that damn near fucking destroyed me. I was laughing so hard I couldn't talk properly.
Okay, I remember that. Never mind.
Alex. Call me Alex boy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm not the prophet.
Oh, gosh.
Why are you calling me that? He does venerate the great street prophet and water merchant Alex Jones. Yes, Alex Jones has survived into the post-apocalypse, and he is out there.
Of course he did. There
are some really interesting characters planned for the game based on pop culture icons of our world and whatnot.
I mean, my character's actually, the nomination is more Petersonite.
Yeah.
As long as,
he follows the book of Peterson.
If you're going for up-to-date pop culture, you're going to have to make UKIP a bad guy.
Well, it's about 200. It's about 200 years into the future. Like in all truth and honesty, it's about 200 years since everything went to shit.
Yeah.
So,
the UK didn't exist 3 years into that. So.
Yeah. All world. No. Like seriously, all world governments have basically collapsed in. There are no of the old world governments that exist anymore. Instead, the things that survived were the corporations, and they have grown into mega corporations and have city-states that dot the landscape. These are the only actual bastions of civilization, for the most part, because the world has become.
I can't wait till we get to Trojan. It's gonna be.
I bet. I just bet.
Oh no! It's gonna be great if we go over to damn it! What was I trying to think of?
Fuck you guys! I want to visit Heckler and Koff.
I mean, arms manufacturers would definitely be ones to survive. Just saying.
Wait, what if we go to the Midwest? Like go more towards the Midwest, like near the Wyoming area, like around there, and we go off to actually no, Indianapolis, if I remember it was, or Indiana, and we go to walled off Mart.
Oh no! That's Missouri. That's Missouri, man.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. The Waltons, their empire has endured, so to speak.
Oh boy!
Can we just admire the fact that somewhere in the UK, or where the UK used to be, there is an empire of Asda?
Yeah.
I know that the Americans don't get that, but
it's a big grocery chain there for you guys, right?
They're owned by Walmart. So.
Oh. So yeah, they're one of the few multi-continental empires that are still functioning in that regard.
It's the Gallus. So.
Yeah. I mean, the sea the sea is definitely a treacherous place.
We have a cool little base boat, but I'm not sure that thing can survive ocean travel.
Not yet.
Yeah, because one thing that you might want to bear in mind, and this is free information, and it's pretty well known, but the oceans themselves, aside from having temporal storms rippling across them, where some of the worst storms of history are being recreated in small slices of the ocean, You also have the fact that there is a lot of radioactivity and high water acidity, as well as all kinds of horrible creatures that have adapted to these environments.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I know. Fuck you, Gator. I know exactly what you got planned. We have to go across the water.
No.
Yeah, might be something we'll leave for later.
There are people that are able to cross it. There are legit people who are able to cross it, either through flight, which is incredibly dangerous, or through boats, potentially submarines.
I was gonna say potentially we get to see a Leviathan. I can't wait to study that experiment.
I'm almost certain that if we did find and kill a Leviathan, which I doubt, but if we did do that, and Squigs ate the entire thing, technically, because you're a fungoid, there is absolutely no limit to the size of which you can grow. We could have a Gundam's cordyceps.
Oh God!
Actually, there is a limit.
Yeah,
there is a limit to how much he could grow. There actually is, because otherwise his body would just collapse in on itself. And also, you would have somebody with a tuba following Squigs around consistently.
I mean, I'm willing to take that cost.
Truth be told, I want my guy to be still very small and annoying. But if he does meet his unfortunate end, and I have to go to my next character, I will hopefully grab the bones of that Leviathan and make it into sweet weapons for my Gundam.
Yes, look, I think Maxwell will be joining us for the next one.
Alright. Definitely down for this.
Obviously, situations permitting, then I am game, but, certain things are out of my control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is also the offhand this is the offhand campaign that we've been running in your absence. We didn't want to just simply go without you in Gran Terra, as a bit of news for everybody here. So essentially Gran Terra is still paused from where you left off.
Awesome.
Yeah. Truth be told, I think I'm enjoying this more than Gran Terra.
I can't lie. But also, to be fair, Gator did put a lot of effort into building your other campaign, so ultimately what we could do is... I
like both of them. I'm more than happy to just do one or the other, or maybe have a revolving session.
Same here.
Kind of like TV seasons.
Yeah, that's what what we've been more or less planning and whatnot. To just revolve it in and out.
Don't think that you have to be like how to immediately go back to the Dur campaigns.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? I've been gone for fucking weeks, man. Whatever you guys are doing, I'll join in.
I mean, at the very least,
the campaign is still there for us to just carry on with when you are either fully back up or more confident in what's going on with what.
Yeah. And the nice thing about Gamma World is the fact that it is a pick up and play sort of thing. You can drop in, drop out, sort of deal. There's always a convenient plot hook in that, which is nice.
I really should have kept that last session.
Second death.
I've got a ridiculously high dexterity.
16,
so I could have used that Glock, professionally. It would have been amazing.
I mean, there's nothing saying
you still fucking can.
Yeah.
It's yours, though. But...
Yeah. It doesn't mean that you
actually, I had plans of having John at least show him how to shoot with it.
Yeah. I mean, I did expect...
When you bought it for him, he extended to you.
Mm-hmm. There was a reason why...
on the table.
Yeah, and there was a reason why I made sure to kind of emphasize the fact that you could get more than one, bit of armament and whatnot when you guys were there.
In that case, I can show John how to fight. hand to hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those are the kind of things that are not only like positive in terms of team play. Some stereotypes about player characters and campaigns and role playing, which everyone just hoards items like fucking vultures and goes mine on everything. And there's no real collaboration. Or
Also, by the way,
sharing is something I'd like to avoid myself. So.
We do have a question from Merc in the chat. He asks, is Leslie going to take part in Gamma World if possible? And emphatically, yes.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah, man. I want to have a bash at this, man, because this shit sounds fucking mental.
Oh, it is. Yes, that's exactly what we need. We need a montage.
We're gonna need a bounty.
Dude, I have done montages in the past, and it's great fun for D&D.
We need a montage of me showing John how to punch a punch bag, and then me getting shown how to shoot the punch bag.
Oh my god, I could just see John holding the punching bag. Mukong punches it. John goes
flying. Oh, I can see it. I can fucking envision it.
You guys can't hear it, but yeah.
Oh my god.
What?
I can hear it.
I can't hear shit.
I'm posting it up. I have that in the background right now.
Oh, you suck.
To be fair, it's not like our characters aren't like, because there are no combat skills per se. Our character is actually quite versatile because it's more about our attributes determining. But yeah, I mean, he's not a professional fighter like Mukong is.
Yeah, Mukong was a pit fighter, so he's way better at that.
Long ain't nothing to fuck with.
Pretty much. Yeah, he saw firsthand what he could do.
Yeah, modern gladiatorial sports, the pits evolved out of people wanting to see WWE again, and it just got more intense.
Mixed monkey arts.
The Mukong clan ain't nothing to fuck with. That's what I call my group, by the way.
I love it. Oh, by the way, I did come up with a way of being able to do music for everybody during the show.
Yeah.
If I put up a my circle, then I can just have the music swap out, so you all get to hear the the proper music and whatnot for as we're playing. So background tracks and stuff are back on the table.
All I know is I have a song.
Just a pointer for you, Gator. I was re-watching the stream last week with my old man, and I found that the music was a little bit loud.
Oh, yeah, that seems to be a big problem. Like I do have a control that I use on here to sort of mitigate that, but sometimes the problem is some of the tracks that pop up are unfortunately too loud on their. They'll be louder than normal, and
that's the problem. That's the problem with playing unequalized tracks, like.
Yeah, I don't have a proper mixer or anything like that, so that's my unfortunate situation.
I would offer to give you one, but they are ridiculous. And hardware is no guarantee that it will work. You'd have to jerry-rig that shit.
Yeah. It's all going to be patchwork and whatnot in the first place. Like I have entertained the idea about seeing about if I could get like a digital a digital mixer sort of deal, so that I can have like because my ex-fiance, she used to do DJing on Second Life apparently, and she used one software and I forget what it was called. Sort of tried to block that part of my memory out, but I know it's possible to do. It's just sort of like learn as you go sort of deal, trying to figure out stuff. So
I mean, this whole thing is a learning experience for everyone. The idea of streaming, I don't like. It's.
I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of very much looking forward to it, sort of thing. Because like outside of actual D&D sort of thing, back in the noughties or very early noughties. And late 90s sort of thing. Much of my gaming experience were on the tabletop variety sort of thing was very much based on traditional shit like chess, Monopoly, Risk, Game of Life, all that type of shit sort of thing. So I never really ventured too heavily into the actual like tabletop gaming, as I call it. Sort of thing. So yeah, fucking any shit that you guys fucking want to try, man, fucking count me in as long as I can get on.
Oh yeah. So God, that does like kind of go back to the fact of I expressed this in a chat the other day that we had, how I wished that I had all of you here like physically, because I have like all of these little gizmos and doodads and things like that I can use as props for the game. I really love the minis and the props and things that you can put along with D&D. 4E is very, very, very heavy into that sort of deal. So it's almost more like a board game in that regard. So like little swag and things like that would be, fun.
I mean, if you could organise me and fucking Daps being sponsored, we'll move to yours.
I mean, well, Alma did say he was offering sponsorship to any of the Brits wanting to get out.
Yeah. No. As much as I would love to go and live in, the devil's asshole that is.
Hey, we have air conditioning. Come on.
I would much rather live in a country where people can grow plants.
They can grow plants there.
Dude, I mean,
don't count plants, dude.
Oh, bullshit. Hey, you've seen outside of my apartment and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you both. God damn it. I'm right next to a national forest, for fuck's sakes.
I know.
Huge
Gator,
coniferous pine forest.
I'm defending you on this point. I mean is that when usually you have to defend the Texans, they're not mentally able to defend themselves. You have to defend them for them.
Oh, what the fuck is happening to this stream?
This is devolved.
Yeah.
This is fucking devolved.
This is devolved.
But in any case, we are definitely glad to be having our Lessie back.
It's fucking good to be back. You have no fucking idea, man. Do you know what I'm never playing again for the rest of my life? Sims fucking 4.
Can we just appreciate the comment in the chat? Devil's arsehole is Taunton. Yeah.
That's factually accurate.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
One day I will take you to Taunton and you will see why.
Just hot and humid.
No, Taunton is a town in Somerset, and it's the absolute shithole. Like, the entire place is
Damn.
Oh
boy.
And it's pretty much like the biggest stain on all of Somerset. It's not good.
Which is saying a lot.
Yeah.
So that being said, I wanted to go ahead and close out with today's show on asking what kind of stuff that are you guys like looking forward to for the campaigns? Like what kind of things that you're wanting to sort of experience?
But I'll let the other guys go first.
And also bear in mind, this does not only extend to Gamma World. It also extends to Gran Terra. So,
well, I'm looking forward to just meeting some of the characters in the game. I think that is going to be quite interesting because it's so open-ended in character generation and creation, as it is in 5e. But it's much more wacky in Gamma World. We're definitely taking it as more of a joke rather than a serious thing that we actually have characters for. I know you relatively well enough to know that you're going to come up with some crazy fucking shit. And not to mention, I've also given you a lot of ammunition for some crazy fucking shit.
Oh yeah. I am drawing on my entire conceivable knot or every facet of it for pop culture ideas and things to sort of implement and have fun with.
Not to mention the list of fucking names I gave you.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, excessive violence and bad trips. Yeah,
Let's just say, watch out for a mercenary group known as the Expendabros.
Oh.
I swear to God, I'm gonna slap you upside the head.
That
I
sounds
thought
terrifying.
we were the
I'm not gonna lie.
Expendables, but okay.
Yeah, I'm playing Jet Li, for fuck's sake.
Monkey Jet Li.
With heroin, with special rye smut blow darts.
Oh God.
You don't
Shit
wanna
your
play
pants
Rise
darts.
Yeah,
What about the
excessive-
Quicks? Any expectations coming up?
What, for Gamma World?
Yeah.
For Gamma World, for Grantera, like, what do you expect? Like,
Gamma World, I expect their heist to somehow get fucked up, and I expect Gran Terra to be fighting an Eldritch Abomination by the end of it.
Yeah. I've still got.
That or a fucking porcelain.
I've got. What's the word I'm looking for? I've got conspiracy theories rolling through my head still about Gran Terra. Like I've got.
Here's
that for
It's
some
Darkest
reason
Dungeon.
the goody two shoes of the group aren't letting me just eviscerate random corpses, and I don't like it because I don't trust corpses.
Well, to be fair, you guys are only in the first arc.
Yeah, I mean that I definitely realised. But I mean, the thing of it is, Gran Terra wise, the thing I'm looking forward to most, what the fuck Squiggs can do next, man? Because that motherfucker's got some fucking weird capabilities, man.
Yeah, he's a soulbound. Yeah, he's a soulbound.
Yeah,
Those
Soulbound
are.
is fucking weird, man.
It's gonna be fun.
You're one of the only people when I did my test games for it and stuff like that. You're one of the only ones that actually went for soulbound. So you're getting to experience some of the strangeness of your racial traits.
The ability to take over any armor I so choose. And by that, I mean it's probably most likely going to find Giant's armor and become a fucking Gundam.
Fucking
So
weird.
Like last time.
It'd be almost worthwhile going back to that graveyard and nicking him a suit.
You know.
I was gonna
No,
say,
why
are you
not?
still salty about the fact that you don't have a Gundam armor anymore?
We'll get another one, don't worry.
Hopefully we'll get one with a fucking voice box as well.
Yeah.
Well, there's certain limitations that come with his powers and whatnot.
Yeah, there has to be an
And-
answer
Yeah,
somewhere.
and
So if
what's
you-
more is that
if
you
he's
all actually have access to certain hidden abilities and stuff. Each race has that as something that's very much a part of them.
So, for example, if he is in a smaller suit of armor, like an action figure-sized suit of armor, is there so much magical energy that he just has to constantly scream or explode?
No, thankfully not that. Essentially, when he's inhabiting another suit of armor, think of it a bit like the German doctor in Hellboy 2. Yeah, that's more accurate to it. It's like, oh, you have like a bit of a temporary hold on this sort of deal. You can't go too far from your original vessel.
So you're talking about Hellboy 2 with the Golden Army of Bloys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hellboy.
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 Wasn't that Seth MacFarlane that voiced that? The German doctor?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, it was. Wasn't it? It's fucking bizarre.
He's a pretty fucking talented voice actor. In all seriousness, he's a good comedian too.
Apart from the fact that most of his own shows are voiced by the same voice.
Well, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
he was also a writer for Johnny Bravo.
Wait, he was?
Yeah, him and Butch Hartman were writers for Johnny Bravo.
Holy shit! I never knew
I'm
that.
not surprised.
I know he worked on the last series of Cosmos with Master Tyson.
Oh,
Yeah.
We don't talk about that series.
No, but it's actually he. That's how he originally got started with like Family Guy and everything was that he worked on Johnny Bravo and able to get the experience to do that and pitch his own cartoon.
By the way, Maxwell, what are your expectations, dude?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
well, not specifically expectations, but like, what are you hoping to get from, like, get to, or things that you might want to try in the game, sort of deal.
sort of thing. Well, I mean, there's a few things in the traits and lists that I've come across that look fucking super duper interesting. Like the Mind Corsair, that sounds fucking awesome. That might be a possibility. So, I mean, obviously getting to try new and spectacularly cool things in this format sort of thing. Obviously, massively looking forward also to getting back to the main campaign, for the lack of a better term, sort of thing. Looking forward to that eventually happening. That's going to be awesome. Looking forward to just gaming you guys, period, because you fucking rock. I mean, you know, enough said.
You rock too, man.
Yeah, I'm just glad you're back. Dude. Like, as great as it's been playing with these guys, I needed that little bit of the little voice from home.
A little bit of Blighty.
A little bit of life. I felt all alone. I'm not gonna lie.
He was only the only teabag in the box.
Don't put that kind of evil on me.
Is a very, very sad thing.
No, one teabag in the house is bad luck. Don't put that kind of evil on me.
Yeah, that's sort of thing. I mean, literally, when you get to the fucking bottom of your caddy and literally you're clutching the last teabag, that's not a happy time. That's
especially when you're like £2 overdrawn and you know you can't afford to go and get more teabags.
Exactly. I mean, especially the fact where you've got a tiny bit of money, which means you're gonna have to suffer getting something like PG tips or Tetley.
Speaking of, I might actually put the kettle on and make some tea myself.
See, man's got a spectacular idea. Be right back.
All right, Bar, how about you, man?
Hey, looking forward to really good things in the game, but I'd be happy if we eventually ran into some form of zombies. I definitely want more minion fights.
Okay.
Definitely more. I want to get my John Wick on. Just a bunch of extras I could just kick around.
What you're saying is you want an army of Chechen separatist zombie fighters to come after you.
Well, not both at once.
Hey, if I teach you how to fight like with weapons, could you transfer that into like gun fu?
That is.
I mean, yeah, you can actually flavor it as that if you guys want.
I mean, inherently, he could kind of do that, but I'd go more for the Wick school of gun fu versus the gun kata style of.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about gun kata. I was talking about gun fu, like the one that John Wick is playing for you. The style that he uses. It's very John Woo.
Yeah.
The John Woo style of gunfighting.
That would be more.
Get your katana?
Well, no. He'll need some tech pistols that have infinite ammo if he goes full John Woo.
Yeah.
Because you never see a reload in any fucking goddamn John Woo film. Period.
That's not true. He reloads for conversation. So the moment that he wants to put some dialogue in an action scene.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
Right? And then he'll
reload. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a huge thing in this system anyway. You mostly just during combat there is no reloading. Problem is you almost always run empty right after. So they kind of balance it out like that. But just just fun, awesome encounters like we've been having. I'll be really, really happy. And overall, like we already have like a cool boat base to go from.
Not
that alone is badass.
We do actually have to hire like 3 more members of staff to operate that as a working vessel.
Actually,
so we're going to have NPCs on board at some point.
That or Nell could actually just hijack and reprogram a couple of bots.
That is a potentiality. I mean, you got Arnie and Cheeseburger Eddie as NPC allies so far.
Yeah, but Eddie's not going to come with us because he's a humble warfield salesman, which is the good word of the info war.
we didn't want to.
Things to do.
Yeah,
Arnie's
we
gonna
didn't
come
want to
in
assume
because
we
we're
would
not letting that
hijack
character go anywhere.
existing NPCs.
Arnie is
Huh.
amazing. Arnie is an amazing character. I'm so glad that we made that character. Yeah.
That
Like,
is.
I was sat there thinking, actually, you know what? We're going somewhere, and we're going somewhere isolated that no one knows we're going to. However, we don't then at that point have an NPC to help us out. So we need one to kind of start us and talk to us and basically give us a prompt for that session. And I think we definitely did that right. That was a fucking great start. I was pissing myself laughing for the first hour of that game. I couldn't fucking stop laughing.
Gator couldn't even do the voice because he was also laughing his ass off.
Yeah. I still can't do it.
Going Dutch is probably one of the best fucking things I've ever come up with as a joke.
Oh my god. Splits him right in two. Oh no. Oh no, he in back room with very big girl.
My favorite then.
He order a maid outfit for her.
You going Dutch?
He go Dutch.
He got that.
He go Dutch, very good. Yeah. He split her right in two. I'm a little too good at Tommy Chin's voice. God damn it.
Fuck it.
If it bleeds, I can.
You son of a...
That's wrong.
Steps bum foo. Dutch oven? Motherfucker.
Your dad's having a blast right now, man. But in any case, I do want to thank you all for sticking around today on our strange, off, weird day for this. I know everyone's usually used to this being on Saturdays. We will be back to our normally scheduled programming, as it were, next weekend. We will be... I don't think there will be an After Saints for Thursday, unfortunately. I'm going to be a little bit too busy to handle it. So we're going about 2 shows without After Saints, but we will be back on the weekend for Sunday's show. Hopefully everything will be nice and arranged. We will have all the players here for all the great fun and gags that we have planned. And I think that should cover the last of the news there. But I do hope that you all have a wonderful week coming ahead, that everything kind of goes smoothly, and this weekend washes away with the rain.
Oh, yeah.
So, from all of us here at the Kingdom of Discordia, good day, everybody. Good night where you're at, and we'll catch you next time.
Toby.
Oops. Oh, that's funny.
Oh god, I see
You
it.
there?
Yeah, I goofed it on changing it off. But anyways, good night, everybody.
Right.
Toby.